Germany. China promises to close police outposts. 2 remain active. Former British Prime Minister Liz Truss to visit Taiwan, calling more action against Chinese threat. South Korean footballer arrested in bribery case in China. China's economy recovery loses momentum as data disappoints. Germany has acknowledged that 2 problematic Chinese service centers are still operative in their country, despite Beijing's promise to shut them down in February. According to Bloomberg, Interior Ministry spokesman Maximilian Kohl on May 15th said at a conference that Germany is closely watching 2 Chinese service centers, which are still functioning. He said, "The security authorities are closely monitoring these activities, as well as other activities of foreign states in Germany. And this applies in particular and especially to these overseas police stations. These are usually not fixed stationary offices, but mobile facilities." Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Andrea Zassa said Beijing assured Berlin in February that it would shut down the centers, which it maintained were not converted police outposts. She said Germany had been in talks with China about the issue since November, 2 months after Madrid-based human rights campaigner Safeguard Defender's first report about their existence. Zassa said China called them service centers, which Safeguard Defenders said was how these facilities mask themselves globally. Their true purpose is to trace, harass, and intimidate dissidents overseas. Kohl said that China's police stations in other countries often relate to the staff of Chinese security agencies. The matter is not about closing down usual police stations, Kohl said, but rather about discouraging those involved from such illicit activities. Zassa said that Germany has been working closely with the US and other countries in the EU in addressing the problems with China's operations of secret police stations. She also said that Berlin is having an ongoing dialogue with China. In her planned speech for her Taiwan visit, former British Prime Minister Liz Truss will stress that the UK must boost defense cooperation with Taiwan and use hard power to protect the island from Beijing's aggression. The former Prime Minister is also expected to warn that the West needs to get real about military cooperation to avoid a war erupting in the South China Sea. Her speech notes, "If we are serious about preventing conflict in the South China Sea, we need to get real about military and defense cooperation. We need a coordinated approach on what exports are licensed to be sent to Taiwan." Truss will also urge the British government to back Taiwan and join its new Pacific Trade Pact during her visit. She calls the self-ruled island the most consequential place in the world, because Taiwan is on the front line of the global battle for freedom. In her interview with Politico ahead of the trip, Truss described the Chinese Communist regime as the largest threat that we face to the free world. Truss called for more action from the West to fight against Beijing. She said, "The UK needs to take more action, but it's not just the UK. It's the whole continent of Europe, and it's also the United States. We need to take action collectively." She emphasized the need for a common approach regarding the specific technology that the Western countries are willing to export to China and their dependence on the communist regime. Truss arrived in Taiwan on Tuesday. She is the first UK former Prime Minister to visit the country since Margaret Thatcher in the 1990s. During a high-profile visit of then-House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to Taiwan in August last year, the Chinese Communist Party responded with massive live-fire exercises around the island. Shanghai police detained South Korean midfielder Son Jun-ho at the airport as he was about to leave China with his family. According to Reuters, the football player was taken into custody in China's northeastern Liaoning province on May 12th, his birthday. The South China Morning Post said officials took him away at the gate before boarding. The World Cup star joined Shandong Taishan FC, a team in the Chinese Super League, in 2021, and has played for them ever since. His club coach, Hao Hui, has also been detained. Both are under investigation for accepting bribes. An official at the South Korean embassy in Beijing said, "We understand that Son has been questioned by the public security authorities in Liaoning province while in detention. Reportedly, Son is facing inquiries about the allegations of match fixing involving their head coach, Hao Wei. The arrest came as Beijing recently ramped up its crackdown on corruption and match fixing in Chinese football, which has been endemic. The BBC noted that the country had detained at least 4 football officials over the past 3 months. A retired footballer in China once disclosed to The Guardian that these athletes were susceptible to accepting bribes because they often received low and late payments. In April, China's key economic data that missed expectations cast doubt on whether its economy can recover to pre-pandemic level after last year's sweeping lockdowns. According to data from China's National Bureau of Statistics, or NBS, China's industrial production and retail sales all fall short of forecasts, signaling the economy is losing momentum just at the beginning of the second quarter. The youth unemployment rate hit a record high at 20.4%, which experts view as a worrying sign for the world's second-largest economy. Industrial production increased 5.6% from a year ago, much lower than the 10.9% Bloomberg economists' expectation, while retail sales jumped 18.4%, missing the 21% increase projection. Data also showed a further decline in China's property investment in April. Based on official data, Reuters calculations reveal that investment in the property sector, a crucial component of the economy, experienced a significant decline of 16.2% compared to last year. This decline follows a 7.2% drop in March. Its consumer prices had almost no growth in April, a sign of deflation, while imports also declined, showing a sign of weak domestic spending. The NBS noted global and domestic risks that China's economy faces, saying, "The global environment is still complex and grim, and domestic demand still looks insufficient." It added that the economy's internal drive for rebound is still not strong. Chief economist for Greater China at Jones Lang LaSalle Inc., Bruce Peng, told Bloomberg, "Today's weaker-than-expected data shows how difficult it is to keep the growth engine running after restarting it."